Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, if it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it, here, under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that the Lupercal, I trace, presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambitious? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beast, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till I come back to me. I am not an actor. I cannot deliver those speeches with the same eloquence, pronunciation, nor tone. Last week's intro was not about the political event or events that transpired over the course of this week. That was coincidental. I feel the need to tell you all that because the dead will go unnamed, but still need to be properly mourned. Last week's call to arms was that of suicide and suicidal ideation. If you are suffering from that, please reach out to me. I have conquered that demon before, and I know how to talk through it. I'm not a trained professional, but I am willing to help. I'm willing to be a listening partner or a soundboard or whatever it is that you might need. The political climate is egregious currently, and divide seems to be getting greater and greater. I do not condemn anyone for their feelings on either side, because I do understand both parties. I hope to bring people together. I have spoken with a great deal of martial artists. We have not once brought up religious or political leaning. We have not dived into very divisive things. We're talking martial arts because that's what connects us. I am inspiring everybody. I am challenging everybody to find the connective tissue instead of the deconnected tissue. I am inspiring everybody to have a lengthy conversation so that you all can understand things. And let's be nicer. Let's be kinder to each other. Treat each other the way that you want to be treated. It's a better way to address things. Today I sat down with Tim, and interestingly enough, like very apropos of the way that things are going, Tim and I have a conversation about how government controls martial art in his country. We have a conversation about how government and bureaucracy are making things worse for a martial artist. It's a great conversation, very informative for me. Also, in a way, it affects how I teach. Everything that I consume that changes my perspective affects how I teach, and this is no exception. Because it almost makes me want to divulge even more of the technique than I already did. And I'm not a traditional martial artist that teaches a form and then you have to read the form or figure the form out on your own. I am the person that divulges potential for what these movements could be, showing practical aspects. But it makes me want to do it even more. It makes me want to lean into it. I had an amazing conversation with Tim. I enjoyed it. I learned from it. I hope you also learn from it. Always, my friends, keep kicking.
Keep kicking, never quitting. Focus sharp like a blade that's hitting. From white belt dreams to the master flow, Paul Coffey's got the mic, now the stories grow. Technique entails discipline and fire. Each guest brings truth to inspire. Keep kicking, step into your power. Keep kicking, moment to the hour. Every strike, every fall, every rise, it's a journey through a warrior's eyes. Old school, new school, all styles blend. From the mat to the mic, where the arts ascend. Philosophy deep, but the vibe stays tight. Martial minds meeting in the podcast light. Keep kicking, step into your power. Keep kicking, moment to the hour. Every strike, every fall, every rise, it's a journey through a warrior's eyes. Keep kicking. Keep kicking. All coffee leads and the journey begins. Paul Coffee leads and the journey begins. Technique entails discipline and fire. Each guest brings truth to inspire. Keep kicking, step into your power. Keep kicking, moment to the hour. Every strike, every fall, every rise, it's a journey through a warrior's eyes. Keep kicking, keep kicking. Paul Coffey leads and the journey begins. Paul Coffey leads and the journey begins.
Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to Keep Kicking, the martial arts podcast where I have martial conversations with my martial arts friends. And today, I'm going to sit down and have a conversation with Tim. Tim, do you want to introduce yourself for the people?
Hello, Paul. Hello, people. My name is Tim. I'm from Germany. I'm a full-time physiotherapist and a martial arts teacher for karate, jiu-jitsu, and kobudo. And I'm also a martial arts author for John Murray Athletics. So
Very cool. What got you started in martial arts?
I started around 4.5 years with some judo.
Okay.
My father introduced me to martial arts. He's a karate teacher too, so I was in the gym or the dojo at a very young age. But he said, you're not allowed to do karate until you're getting older, so you gotta have to do something else, and that was judo for me.
That's cool. We haven't had anybody whose dad got him into it yet. I like that. How long has your dad done it?
Whew. It must be around 50 years now, roughly.
And he's still going?
He's still going. A little
That's
injured
great.
since he got a hip replacement, but we'll fix that.
Yeah. No, that's good. So tell us about your martial journey. Like, you started in judo. Have you always been under your dad? Did you branch out? That sort of thing.
I did a little judo until green belt. If I remember correctly, did a few tournaments as a kid, and then just stopped doing judo because we were terribly murdered at a tournament as kids. So the whole class was like, okay, we're done here. We're never going to do this again.
You got showed up that bad.
Very, very bad. So
Okay.
there was a pause in like traditional martial arts. I switched to fencing, classical fencing with a floret. Did this for a few years until my dad allowed me to join karate training when I was 14. From there on, I'm still doing karate. Let me see, remember correctly. 2014, I started doing jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
Met somebody at the seminar, and he just showed me some stuff and was very interested. And he said, "Well, come and train with me." So I did train under him jiu-jitsu, and still do. And that was the best part in my martial journey, because
How so?
the karate I've done so far was the classical 3K karate, doing kihon, the basics, the kata or the forms, completely the solo part, not the applications of it, and the kumite, the point sparring, if you want, So it was 3 parts separately, and a lot of motions you have seen in kata didn't turn up anywhere in the other
kumite,
parts, in kumite or in kihon. So when I did jiu-jitsu, I came to realize, well, that motion is actually a throw, or that motion is a joint lock. And from there on, I began to put together what I have learned so far, combining it with what I have learned about joint locks, throws, ground fighting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I discovered on YouTube Ian Abernethy,
Okay.
the one of
Not heard that name.
the most well-known expert on bunkai, or the application of kata.
Okay.
And then I began to see, okay, it's all there, but
Mm-hmm.
nobody has
Mm-hmm.
taught us properly.
Mm-hmm. Well, does that inform the way that you teach?
I completely throw
Like you
away what I have done
open book it?
before
Mm-hmm.
and had to reform it completely.
Mm-hmm. When did you start teaching?
Like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 10
And
years
you
ago.
taught the whole time?
Yep.
That's awesome. Why teaching? What has teaching done for you? What brought you into teaching?
Teaching is something like I grew up with it. I always have seen my father doing it on normal classes or at seminars.
Mm-hmm.
And as a physiotherapist, I mainly teach people to change physical behavior to get better.
Yeah, yeah.
So my main part of the day is I teach people how to move.
Mm-hmm.
Teaching
That's your
martial
whole day.
Yeah, that's my whole day. Because doing martial arts is nothing else. You teach people how to move in a certain situation.
Sure. And that the intent of what they're trying to accomplish dictates how they move.
Correct.
So what kept you in martial arts this whole time?
There was at first the getting ranks, getting Dan certificates and stuff like that kept me going, because I wanted to reach a certain level.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to reach the level that your father had achieved, or?
I'm far away from that because of the rule set in Germany that I can't be at that rank at my age.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of age limited. If you want to be a sixth Dan, you have to be over 50.
Okay. Wonder why they do that.
Gatekeeping.
Is that really it?
Yeah.
That's interesting to me, because
mainly
I understand that most styles do time on task as part of the thing for rank. Like if I wanted to go from 5th degree to 6th degree, I had to have my 5th degree for X number of years.
Yeah.
And like that computes in my mind to a degree. I think the problem that we have with doing that is somebody could be at rank for 5 years, let's say, but they could only be in the dojo 2 days a week.
Yeah.
And they can move to 6th degree and only be in the dojo 2 days a week. And I think instead it should be accumulated 100 hours of training or, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? That's interesting that they have age limits. Do they have age limits on each rank?
Yeah. They loosened it up a bit. When I was younger, you had to be the age of 18 to get or to be able to test for first Dan.
Okay.
And they lowered it to 16 now. And they also implemented a junior Dan. You can reach around 12 years, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting to me. What else do you know that is different culturally about the arts from the German perspective?
I actually wrote an article about the comparison between the US and Germany.
Okay.
Because, there is stuff like you have private dojos or private gyms that teach certain martial arts.
Sure.
And you pay a lot of money for that kind of training. When you compare the prices, it's I can't wrap my mind around it from a German perspective, because the most martial arts training you can get in Germany is offered via something like the YMCA.
Okay.
So you go to a sports club in your town and see what they do offer: soccer, handball, basketball, and stuff like that. And there are also some kinds of martial arts. Usually it's judo, karate, and something else.
Mm-hmm.
And you pay around 10 to 15 euros a month. That's all.
What? Wait, what's the conversion to euros? Is it?
It's roughly the same.
Is it roughly the same? Is it almost
Yeah.
1-for-1? I think, is it like
Almost.
120 or something? We'll say.
I haven't looked it up recently, but it feels very close.
That's wild. So you were paying like a fourth of what I was paying a month?
Yep.
Roughly, when I started. And now that's like, are the prices the same right now?
Yep.
Yeah. That's like, the average school is like 120 a month here. It's wild. So why do you think that is in Germany? Why are there no I'm sorry, I have an itch. Why are there no private schools?
There are private schools, but it is very, very difficult to get your private school running when people can get the same thing for a quarter or even less.
Right.
Why should they come to your school?
The authenticity is the reason that they should come to your school. Right. It is for sure a hard sell, because is there any parts of Germany that are not served by these cheap YMCA like clubs?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Nope.
So everybody has access to this?
Yeah.
That's wild. Wild.
But
okay.
When Krav Maga or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu came to Germany, they just started doing it via private lessons or private classes. So this was from the beginning something else in their minds, or in the people's minds. When you want to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you can't go to a sports club like I teach at. You won't get anything. So you have to look up a club that offers this, and that's comparable to the US prices, like 140 euros a month, or depending on how many classes there are during the week.
Sure. That blows my mind because of how cheap it is, and that it's offered to everybody. Because like here, it's not as easily accessible. Like if somebody wanted to learn arbitrarily Wing Chun, okay, there's not Wing Chun in every area, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like somebody that wants to learn Wing Chun might have to travel an hour or 2 hours to a school in order to get what they want. Now, they probably do have something in their area, but if they're set on Wing Chun, they would have to go out to get that. And it seems like you all have like only a handful of things. Do you all have Wing Chun schools?
We have Wing Chun
offered at sports clubs?
20
Are they
minutes.
offered at sports clubs?
Yep.
No.
From time to time, it's a minor art in Germany.
Okay. People that practice the minor arts, do they offer seminars.
Yeah, they do.
And then that's probably how they bring people in, right?
Yeah, that's the best promo they can do. And there are also joint seminars when you have karate, jiu-jitsu, Wing Chun, Muay Thai, and so you can go to one of these seminars and go through like 6 or 7 different styles a day.
That's cool. I like that idea a lot. That's wild. Okay, what has kept you in martial arts this whole time? What's keep you going?
There's always something new to learn.
Mm-hmm.
When I started doing jiu-jitsu, and like I said before, it changed my point of view completely. So I had to review all the stuff I have learned in karate and throw away most of it, or the perspective on most techniques. Like the lunging punch is for that, and you pull back the hand to the hip because it generates power. No, it does not. So this whole process kept me in the martial arts for a very long time. And after completing, it's never completed, but no, you get my point.
Right. Yeah. After completing the first rotation.
Yeah.
Time for second rotation.
And then came Kobudo, traditional weapons. Getting the historical links that it always has been part of karate, but was stripped away because of different reasons, like having smaller spaces to teach when you just do empty hand stuff. And gluing all this stuff back together is the rotation I'm in now.
Okay. That's a good rotation to be in, you know?
Yeah.
Like I've come to say that I'm not a very good martial arts instructor. I'm just the best student you can have in class with you, you know, because like I don't like to be like, let's do it this way. I like to be like, let's just pull it all apart and see what works for everybody in this class. So I normally ask the question of how has martial arts helped your work? But for you, I want it to be a little different. And I want to know, how has martial arts helped inform the work that you do, but how has the work you do also helped inform your art?
Ooh.
Yeah, now you got to go, well.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I have used stuff from karate, like the wide stances from Shotokan. If you do that with a client that got Parkinson's disease, it's very beneficial for them. You want them to make big movements, so you have a big step forward, but also with a brighter or brighter base, so they can stand more firmly. That gives them more security. They trust their own movements a lot better, and so that's something I've been doing for almost 20 years now. It came. I worked a lot of years in the neurological rehab, and the chief of medicine was also a black belt in Judo. And when I talked to him and said, well, if we can get 2 classes of karate, one for MS, one for Parkinson's, that would be awesome.
Ooh.
And he was like, yeah, I'm in. I'm totally in. Don't talk.
Say less. We're ready.
That was so much fun. Because
you also have to like alter the curriculum or write new curriculum for that, right?
I didn't write a curriculum. I used it in a therapy way. I did it for the Parkinson's people because the Shotokan Kata have usually very wide and fast movements. So that was beneficial to that certain part of clients. And for the people with MS, the Naihanchi or Teki Kata is very, very good, because it's a kata. When you do it with a focus on your own body, you develop a lot of core strength. That's something they are going to miss very quick. And if you just give them something that takes up 30 to 45 seconds in one go, and you can do it anywhere, they have a tool to train always and everywhere they are. They don't need anything else except their own body.
That's great. What kind of successes were you seeing out of that?
For one example is a client in a wheelchair that always had the tendency to not be able to sit up straight because the core muscles have degraded so much. And I taught him just to do the Teki Kata while he's in the wheelchair. And he was interested because it was a very different approach to what he have had before. He liked it, and so he kept doing it. So we were able to get rid of the pilots that were keeping his upper body in line. He didn't have to use them anymore, so he could sit freely.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. I like the idea of that being supplementation. The school that I'm from, we had years ago, probably more than 20 years ago, there was a couple of patients that had MS, and they came in and they had a little group that just did Tai Chi.
Oh, great.
And some of them had to be seated. Most of them had to be like just pull a chair out type of situation. We had a couple people that graduated from having to have walkers, like the double cane, to just having a single cane, stuff like that. So it does have benefit. It's interesting the way that in a similar capacity to yoga makes you move your body in ways you're not typically used to moving your body, and martial arts does that same thing. So like that aids those individuals.
Yeah.
You know, I also think it's like I tell everybody it's a fountain of youth. Martial arts is, you know, because I'm always mistaken for younger than I am, and I think that everybody should run kata for a half an hour a day unless they don't have time, and they should do it for an hour a day. You know?
Yeah.
Good.
Totally agree.
Yeah, for sure. So tell us about your personal martial arts philosophy.
Whoa. That's a very fluent thing.
Yeah. And I tell people, like, if you want to just tell me about what it is today, that's also okay. Yeah. Because I'm aware that it changes from day to day.
Yeah. Most of the time I'm very focused on the self-defense aspect of the martial arts I'm teaching. So the kata training, the kihon training, and the weapons training all circles around the idea how to defend myself out there nowadays. We are certain we won't run around with a nunchaku or a sai or a bow.
Sure.
That won't happen, but getting to know how a weapon is handled, you can use it with everyday objects. That's a good thing.
Sure.
But yeah, like you said before, this is a perspective that changes on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely. Do you teach a lot of individual self-defense, or are you teaching just traditional martial art and letting them decide what they get out of it? If that makes sense.
It makes sense, but the karate I teach is not traditional anymore. In the sense of the German tradition or the German way it is taught.
Mm-hmm.
Since there was this 3K approach, or there still is in Germany widely, since I couldn't get people to teach me how to connect these things and implement throws and implement other stuff, I turned my hat to the jiu-jitsu guys and also to people from overseas or from Britain, like Ian Abernethy or Noah Legal and people like them. And I tried learning from them to get my vision of or my karate to work again. So
you had to get a tune-up.
A tune-up.
Yeah, you had to get a martial arts tune-up, so to speak. Or give yourself a tune-up.
Yeah. That would be great.
Go ahead. Were you going to say something else?
No.
Okay. Just a quick question out of curiosity. Sistema is a Russian art. Is there Sistema in Germany at all?
Ooh, that's a very
would think not.
But... a very obscure art in Germany. I have seen it at the joint seminars or international joint seminars from the World Budo and Kobudo Federation. They held these kinds of seminars around Germany. And there is always, here in North Germany, there's always a guy from Russia teaching Sistema.
Okay. That's cool. Do you have any Sistema experience? Just out of curiosity.
Except for 2 classes on the mats with him, no.
Perfect. Do you get any pushback for teaching differently?
Yeah, sure.
What does that look like?
It depends on the person who's pushing me back. If there's a new student coming in, like a few years ago, a woman from another dojo came to me and said, "We moved here. I want to continue doing karate. I'm an orange belt right now. Is that okay for you if I keep it?" I said, "Well, let's just train together and see what level you are and how you feel with us." And 2 classes later, I got a letter from the head of the sports club with a wild complaint about the way I teach and the stuff I teach, because she's not used to get touched by other people during martial arts training.
Oh.
I was like, okay. Okay.
So they teach without even touching.
It seems like that there are people out there doing that.
That's interesting. Does your dad teach traditionally, or does he teach more open? Yeah.
My dad,
what does he think about you teaching the way you teach?
That's a very difficult thing between us for almost the last 10 years. It's not an open clash or something, but we have accepted that we have very different points of view on certain things.
Okay. Agree to disagree is probably the best way when it's family is concerned.
Yeah. But we have found a way to profit from each other. Like, I profit a lot from the way he is precise with his techniques. When I get students from him for a seminar or something, and they do certain techniques, I'm 100% sure they know how to execute the technique. Now I'm there to give them an idea what this technique can be applied to. So they have a very sharp, good technique, but I fill this stuff with meaning.
Yeah. What's interesting to me about that is we, on this podcast, me and people that I know kind of have sat down and talked through what martial arts is in the United States, right?
Yeah.
And so you have students that come to you because they're into exercise and they want a new way to move their body. So those are fitness students. They last like 9 months usually, maybe a year. You have people that that just want to fight, and then when they feel like they learned how to fight, they're gone too. You have people that want to learn to defend themselves, and once they learned how to defend themselves, they're gone. You have people that we have labeled, me and my friends have labeled the curators of martial arts. They're not going to fight. They don't really want to compete, but they want to come in and they want to learn every move, and they want to perform it in the most crisp, clean way possible. And the reason we call them curators is because in a lot of ways they are kind of the curator for the museum that is that style. So they're the curator for Shotokan, or the curator for Budo Taijutsu, or whatever. And they're really great and they're really important, not because they know the application of everything, but because they know every posture and every move and every position, kind of like the back of their hand. They know it, that it's right here, and they'll correct the other students, like, it's this off, got to raise it, like stuff like that. And then there's like lifelong practitioners. And I, in 2012, gathered all my students together, and I told them, I said, I don't teach martial arts anymore. I teach philosophy and motion. And so you come to me, you bring whatever philosophy you have, and I'll teach you the moves that go with that. And what I found is that in doing that, if somebody starts and they want to learn how to defend themselves, after they feel confident enough that they can defend themselves, they then can still grow with the class because their philosophy has changed to wanting to be that curator. They feel protection from the stuff that they learned to defend themselves with, and now they feel some sort of like responsibility to curate and like keep the posterity of the art itself, and so then they do that for a little bit, and then they go into something else. So it allows for more fluidity among the students. But what the whole point of saying that is, it seems like the rules that exist for Germany or for Germany are they are fostering more curators.
Yeah.
Because like that student that says, I have a problem with this because it's not the way that it was taught to me otherwise, she's kind of putting herself into a curator position of, I want to learn the postures and the techniques and where does this go and all that, but I don't want to learn the application. And that's really interesting to me because I can't 100% wrap my head around someone that would not want to do that, but wants to practice martial arts for a long lifetime.
Yeah.
Do you know why somebody would want to do that?
Not really. That's a kind of perspective I can't assume.
Mm-hmm. That's more than fair. That's more than fair. You haven't gotten any like pushback so egregious that the government was like, stop doing that, though?
Not really. I'm too small.
Good. That's good. Too small. I wonder how big you have to be for that. That'd be wild.
There's the governing body for karate in Germany. Mm-hmm. They are the big player. They are like two smaller ones. Not really a threat, and I have to be a threat to the governing body, that they recognize me.
The governing body probably has thousands of students type of a... Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's wild. What's the craziest or most obscure, is a better word, martial art that you have been exposed to while in Germany?
There are a lot of made up things or made up styles.
Oh, really? Okay.
That sounds a bit unfriendly, but There are people that fail at brown belt level in their art, in the art they are doing. They get frustrated and they move away. A year later, they came up as sixth dan in Judo or Taikujitsu. And you're like, what? Never heard of this. What's that about? And you look it up and you see that person that never achieved a recognized rank anywhere. And they give themselves any high rank they want. They call their style a certain name, and it got stuff from here and from Judo and the best of Wing Chun and the best of Krav Maga. We have the best of the best, and so we have the most complete martial art on the world. Yeah, that's stuff.
That's circumstance. That Bruce Lee did a lot of really good and a lot of really not so good for martial arts as a whole. You know? Because he led with that as an idea, and so then a lot of people kind of use that framework and copy that. So,
yeah, but Bruce did know how to move.
Absolutely.
He wasn't a real good fighter, but he was very good in what he has done. Like the movements, sharp, crisp, to the point, and lightning fast.
Right.
But if you go to a class of like Judo, you see awful techniques taught by a person that hasn't got any idea how to teach things properly and doesn't really know what he's teaching. But the students get home like, oh yeah, I know how to chain punch and now I am able to defend myself. Or you know, all this nonsense stuff for knife defense or weapons defense.
Yeah.
We all have seen that. And this stuff is still taught in that styles. And people are like, oh yeah, I now I'm not afraid of knives anymore.
Right.
Especially
more afraid of them.
Especially when in Germany the knife attacks rate is rising on a daily level.
That's not good.
No, it certainly isn't. When people walk around with, I know how to defend against a knife. I don't want these people to get a reality check.
Right. Yeah, that's a false sense of security that we don't want checked at all, for sure. Yeah. So now to a question. This is a discussion that I've been having with a lot of people. And the question is, how do you train non-violent people? It starts with an omission, always. My audience has heard it ad nauseum. To be a lifelong practitioner of martial arts, I've always been a firm believer that you have to be equal parts sadistic and masochistic.
Yeah.
And right, no one has rebutted my statement to that effect. But how do you teach a non-violent person how to be able to defend or just sustain their life in a tragic situation? How do you teach people that are not violent to deal with violent circumstances?
Yeah, that's the most difficult part in teaching self-defense focused martial arts, I think, because the person that is attacking you has already decided to be violent, aggressive, or wants to harm you, kill you, steal your stuff, whatever. You, on the other hand, are a friendly person walking, doing your daily stuff. You have to switch from one second to the other to be the more violent, more brutal than your attacker. And that's the first thing I teach the people. I just tell them, if you want to survive such a situation, you have to be more violent, you have to be a bigger asshole than your attacker. That's the mindset you have to assume in that situation. But how do you teach that? How do you teach to assume such a mindset? I haven't still figured out completely how to do that.
That's fair. That's a conversation I'm having that I'm still trying to figure out.
What works good is to get the people. You can't fake an adrenaline rush during training in the safe space, but you can get your students exhausted to the point they're almost collapsing. And from there, you're going to do a soft attack drill or a bouldering or anything like that to stress test your students. And you can say, this is the kind of feeling in your body, not your mind, but your body feels that exhausted when the attack begins. You have to deal with that. At least this is something I can teach you in a safe way. To get your
that's a really interesting perspective, because you're controlling the aspect that you can control. Myself included, and a lot of the other martial artists that I've talked to, they're just like, well, you kind of just have to reinforce to them the reason, because a lot of people don't want to be violent, so they're not going to be violent for themselves. Maybe some of them have been victims, and because they're being victims, they know what it feels like, and they don't want to do that to somebody else. And so you tell them, like, okay, you don't want to do it for you, but you want to do it for your dog that's at home, or your kid, or your mom, or your dad. And so, like, a lot of the martial artists are just saying, what is the reason to fight? And what I think is different about your perspective that I really like is you're not doing that, and you kind of let them, they will eventually, in getting somebody dog tired, they're going to come to a lot of conclusions on their own. And hopefully one of those conclusions is, this isn't that bad and I can do it. And then they come up with their own why to do it.
Yep.
I like that. That's an interesting approach. You probably got that because of your work with the physical body.
Partly. I can openly admit that I have stolen a lot of ideas from people that teach law enforcement officers in Germany.
Okay.
I've trained with a teacher for the special police forces. When he was teaching us, like, what happens when you go to the ground? Somebody shoves you, trips you, and you just fell to the ground, and people start kicking you. A group of people just violently kicks the...
You can cuss, that's fine. Yeah, all good.
While the people are kicking you, not with full force, but you have to recognize the kicks, and you have to feel it. You have to feel discomfort. But on the same moment, these people are yelling and screaming at you. Get up! Get back up on your feet! Get up! And this reinforces in your brain, whenever this situation happens, you will have to get up, because this chant of people that orders you to get back up on your feet, that is ingrained in your brain at a certain point. You have to repeat that over and over again, that scenario, but sooner or later you will get there. And that was...
That's it. How much?
Yeah.
There's a lot here. One, I am from America, and what we train our cops is shoot them. So like, we don't. I think for my society in America, law enforcement is one of the worst jobs you could possibly have.
Yeah, sure.
Because and I don't know about other countries, but law enforcement, they're undertrained and undersupported. They're understaffed, and they go out day after day with a target on their back, right? Yeah. And so, like, that's not to discredit that there are some assholes that are also cops that abuse their power and all that. Like, I get that that exists, but of course it's going to exist because it's just a toxic situation in general. And so to hear you even say that they are taking the time to do this for your all's police department.
No. You know, for the special forces, like
for the special forces,
like your SWAT teams, the SEK.
Okay. What's
in
SEK
Germany
stand for?
Sondereinsatzkommando.
Okay, and that
special mission command.
Okay.
So when the shit hits the fan, these guys are coming up.
Sure. And so they don't do that for regular law enforcement.
No, not at all. The regular law enforcement is like you have described, understaffed, undertrained, with a target on their backs every single day.
It's kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah.
That society as a whole recognizes that it needs protection and then employs people to protect it and doesn't give them the proper tools and resources. Something is missing there that I like. Maybe my brain is too simple and I can't understand why it's designed that way.
I guess, or at least I have a guess for Germany, is that when the politicians have a certain goal in their legislation period, they are restricting the police forces to do certain kinds of stuff they normally do. Do not enforce that law that extensive. Draw back on it.
Well, that doesn't happen in America because we don't have corrupt politicians.
The most honest politicians are from the US.
Right, yeah.
There are no weapons of mass destruction. There are not.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Yeah, that's interesting. I've talked to the past like 2 or 3 interviews. This theme has come up that is kind of systemic oppression through martial arts. And it's kind of shocking. Maybe it's shocking because, okay, it's shocking for a lot of reasons. You know, I'm an American and I am a white male. So I do have things kind of easier here than other places, you know? And I'm 6'5". I don't get messed with or picked on as much as other people. So maybe like I just walk through life in a way that I'm like, no, people don't really get oppressed. Like things suck, but they're not horrible. So that's part of it. But I think the other part of it is just that I love martial arts and I love the community so much that I'm naive to the fact that it could be used disingenuously.
Yeah. There are. I don't want to name people right now.
That's fine.
But
you don't have to name people.
There are examples of oppression in martial arts systems or governing bodies I have witnessed firsthand or secondhand that are not funny because they want to prevent you from getting better or getting more resources to teach more people, to branch out. So whenever they feel threatened on a certain level, they won't let you progress. Like, typical for Germany, you need a license for everything. You need a license for teaching with different levels. You can get a license the A trainer, it's the best one, the B license or the C license. So you need a license to teach.
Who's the governing body that issues the license?
What was called where does it stand? Wait, DOSB, the German Olympic Sports Association.
So every martial arts instructor has to be certified through that organization?
If you want to teach at a YMCA styled venue, then yes. They get their state founding via showing that our teachers are certified, so we get to get some government money.
Yeah. That's I think that's both good and bad.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like it's good because like then you know that your instructor is credentialed.
Yep.
You know, and didn't make up Paul Kudo, you know, like whatever. But the other downside about it is it then allows politicians and policy manipulators to alter the curriculum.
Yep.
That's not good. We don't.
The other important license you have to get is a testing license that allows you to test your students for the next belt level.
Why are they separate licenses?
Money.
Of course. Okay. That wasn't a feel-good answer, but I should have expected it.
You have to renew your licenses every 2 years. That costs you money.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
You have to attend a
and you have to renew
seminar.
Both license.
Yep.
You have to renew both Yeah, okay.
You have to apply to certain seminars to be able to renew them.
Okay.
And the testing license is limited to certain levels. Like you're allowed to teach from white to green belt or white to brown belt at best.
But is that based on your personal rank?
Not based on my personal rank. Not only, but are there how many schools are in your area? If there are people with a license to test people, you won't get a license yourself because you can send your student over to the other people to get tested. So if they don't like you as a person, you won't ever get a testing license.
So you have a license where you can teach people.
Yeah.
And is your teaching license restricted to you can only teach people to first dan or
no? It's
no,
teaching.
That's not restricted.
Nope.
So you can teach and you can just continue to teach. You could teach somebody starting, they just walk in, and so white belt, and you could just teach the whole system to them and never able to test them.
Yeah, that's why I said, okay, I'm done here. I will do my own stuff, wrote my own curriculum, showed it to other credible people I respect, and they said, you're good to go. You're good to go.
I like that.
Because I don't want to be part of this money-making machinery anymore.
Yeah.
When they published the new curriculum or new way of how to test your students, I was there to when they first taught the people what's in there, and I was shocked when they said you have to let your students fail the tests more often because we need to get more money out of each student. That was the moment I sat there.
Fail them so that they have to pay to retest.
Yeah.
And it's okay. So like you fail somebody because they failed, and you give them the notes on what they need to work on.
Yep. That's fair.
You not, yeah, but you don't fail them. Like failing people that pass just so that you can retest them is wild.
It is.
And that doesn't lead in any way, shape, or form to the growth of the art, in my opinion.
Yep. Especially when the fee to test for first dan, for example, is 150 euros. So that's a lot of money in my opinion.
Okay. The fee to test is 150 for a student that is paying less than 20 a month to learn.
Yep.
I think my brain may come out of the back of my head. I don't.
Keep it in.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Are the people that run this governing organization, are they martial artists?
Yeah.
All of them?
All of them.
This feels like somebody. It feels like somebody that was not a martial artist came up with this idea.
Because these people are not full-time martial arts teachers. They all have everyday jobs. You certainly will find people from banking systems, management, and so on.
Sure. So then the corporate corruption comes into play.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good feel-good thought. So let me ask you first of all, I'm going to say we're at almost an hour, but I'm enjoying this conversation. If you're okay with it, I want to keep going.
Yep.
Is that all right?
I'm fine.
Okay, good. So tell me about what it's like for somebody in this system to break out of this system and start teaching their own thing, because I would think that you get pushback from the system and the governing bodies, but you also get pushback from the students who are so accustomed to it being this way. And I'll preface it by saying I interviewed a gentleman. His name is Bernie Leddy. Okay, Bernie Leddy is an Irishman, and he now teaches the Doyle Irish stick fighting system. He is the chieftain of the Doyle Irish stick fighting system. Okay. He actually had to find the Doyle Irish stick fighting system in Canada because it had been pushed out of Ireland when UK did all their thing, and all that, like, history happened, wars, things pushed out. You don't know anything about that in Germany, I'm sure. Won't bore you with the details, but what interested me most is he said that when he was teaching Irish stick fighting in Ireland, he has to emphasize the history of it, and he gets pushback from residents that are like, Irish stick fighting is not real. That's made up. So it's been pushed out of the systems. It's been pushed out of the culture so much that now people don't even believe it exists. And so it would seem like students in Germany are so accustomed to, you only pay this much and you only learn these things. And so this guy who's over here doing this is not right. Does that happen?
Yeah, that's the normal perspective people assume, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But there is a shift in the German martial arts society or community. That more and more people are going into the more practical or pragmatic approach to do karate or other stuff. So I'm not a loner out here.
That's good.
I just abandoned the rules to play by the governing body, and said I'm doing it on my own because I do not agree with you anymore, and that's it. No bad blood on my side.
Also, you said, stabbings are on the rise. I imagine if you look at a system, if knife attacks are on the rise, just regular muggings and other attacks are also kind of on a similar rise.
Yeah.
Maybe things like rapes or gang
Massively.
situations yeah. And so it seems like in a society where that's on the rise, it's almost a necessity to not teach martial art in the way that it was taught and to instead teach it the way that you're teaching it. Show people the technique and what you're doing at the same time to get them better at fighting in an environment that is going to shit, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. I also ask of everybody that sits down with me, what do you think is one thing that the average martial arts student neglects in their own personal practice?
Training on their own. Yeah.
That's a very good answer for sure.
Putting in your extra time, no? Outside of the dojo. If you want to get better or you want to get above average, you have to put in extra time.
Absolutely. It's not about the 2 hours you show up to class. It's about the 10 hours after class. For sure. That's a great answer. What, if there's one thing, this can be technique, it can be philosophy, just a frame of mind that you could give to every martial arts student, what would that be?
Well, that's a very good question.
I asked the deep ones, I think.
After 12 hours of work, you're asking me the deep stuff. Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Happy to help keep your brain going.
That's good. Well, there's one thing that's not really deep in my mind, but that's something that is very important to me because I have been fighting for years and years for a better understanding of what kata in karate, for example, is. That a kata is only a collection of fighting principles, and the techniques you're doing in the kata are just examples or displaying the principles that are in there. And most kata are a holistic fighting system in themselves. So you take one kata and you can, if you extract what's in there, you're ready to go. You're able to defend yourself if you need to. Because so many people are out there and saying it's just a dance, or it's just a coordination practice, or it's complete nonsense. Abolish it at all. I'm saying no. This is interesting stuff that came before people wrote it down. This is the information that gets passed on for generations. Why do we want to abandon it? It's the textbook of our art.
I can't believe that somebody would want to abandon it, and it feels like that has something to do with money that I couldn't even grasp my head around. Like that has to be the only reason you would want to abandon it. Do you? My foundation is Shaolin Kempo. Like cool. That's what I've done for the entire. Do you know who Ed Parker is by some chance?
Yep.
Okay. Ed Parker had a quote where he said, forms are a martial arts textbook, and you can read it like you would a regular book. Like you can read it from cover to cover. You can read just one chapter or one word over and over and over again. You can read it with an English accent. You can read it with an Australian accent. And what he's saying about that is the same thing that you're saying is you could take the whole kata and you can drill the whole kata over and over and over and over again, or you can just do this part or this part, you know. And it also reminded me of, there was one time, fairly early on, probably every bit of 25, 30 years ago. I was in a school, and my routine when I first started martial arts was that I would go to school, and when I got out of school at 2:30, I would grab food, take a bus or get a ride to the martial arts school. I'd do my homework there. I would clean there. Uh, at some point in time, I started doing instruction there as well, and then I would take my classes and work out and all that. And then as soon as the doors close, I'd go home, go to sleep, wake up, rinse and repeat. And I did that from the time I was 10 until at least the time I was 14. My tradition was Monday through Friday at the school. Saturday was at the school. I would help out with birthday parties and stuff like that. And then after 1 or 2 o'clock on a Saturday, me and martial arts friends would go to the park and we would work out and have lunch at the park. So I was doing martial arts hours upon hours, right? But I remember one specific evening. We had done everything. Last class had finished, and I was cleaning. And in the school, it was me, another kid that was waiting to get picked up by his parents, and the guy that ran the school, my first instructor. And he excused himself toward the back part of the school while I was cleaning the front part, and just started running. He's like, I'm going to get a little workout in real quick. He started running through katas. But what I thought was really interesting about that, he was like a fourth degree at the time, somewhere around there, fourth dan. And he started doing one kata. And my little, 14, 15-year-old brain is like, why is he doing the one that I'm supposed to be working on? And like, then you also see him throw the punch and hold it. And then like he adjusts his spine and gets his spine right and goes, okay, that feels better. And then goes to the next thing. And he goes into the next move. Same thing. I'm going to adjust the spine. And he would only get like 4 or 5 sequences in and then start over. And I'm just sitting here watching him and enamored by it. And it took me probably another 10 years to realize, oh, he was just reading the book in a different way, So, love that. I want to ask you if there is anybody that is listening that hasn't done martial arts before and is thinking about doing it, what advice you would give to them.
Just do it. Just do it. Enjoy the ride. Do not hesitate. Do not fear getting into a class. The most people there are very kind, very generous, very open people. It doesn't matter who you are. You are there in a community that accepts you for what you are, because it's a family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. Is there anything that you wanted to say that you didn't get a chance to say in this conversation?
I can't really remember. I said so much. And
right.
For a non-native speaker, I had so much speak time. I'm amazed myself. How did I do that?
Your English is really good.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm not your first language, but really good. Okay. I want to thank you for sitting down and having this conversation with me. And like all of my other guests, I thank you because now you having this conversation with me, helping enlighten me, helping change my martial perspective, are now part of my martial arts journey, whether you like it or not. And I thank you for that. I want to thank everybody that listened to this podcast. I hope you all got something out of it. And until next time, keep kicking.
Thanks for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, if you're suffering suicidal thought or ideation, please reach out to somebody. It doesn't have to be me. It can be me. Just talk to somebody. You're not alone. And it's not a hopeless situation. No matter what the situation is, it is not a hopeless situation. And if you would like to reach out to me, or if you would like to be on this podcast, if you would like to tell your story, have a conversation with me, or if you know somebody that would be a good fit for a conversation with me, please reach out. keepkickingpod@gmail.com. Thanks. Thank you for being a part of my martial journey by watching this. Keep kicking.